Go live. Okay. Okay, so we can start. I will now close the camera. Okay. So today I wanted to do something very different about, we have learned so many things this far in so many months. So I thought that it will be good to stop for a while and understand what is that we are doing and what is meditation. So today's subject is what to meditate and what does Buddha say on meditation and what is this jhana is all about. So we need to really keenly understand what are the different meditation techniques we have in this world today. So we can start with Mahesh Yogi meditation called as TM meditation. And Mahesh Yogi is one of a saint who started in US. Then before, if you take, then there is Vedantic meditation. That is a different kind of meditation. Namo Buddhaya. Okay, so that is another kind of meditation. And after that, if we see, there is Om chanting meditation. That is another one. Then there is breath meditation, wherein you watch the breath and do a lot of things relating to the breath. And then we have this bhakti kind of meditations, wherein you chant some God's name and gospels and all of that. It can be in any religion, but basically corresponds to bhakti. Then we have this new age, if you come of this century. Then we have, as I said, about Mahesh Yogi, so it's called TM meditation, very popular across US and many parts of the world. Then you might have heard about Babaji, so that kind of meditation. Then you have this Paramahamsa Yogananda. He has his own type of meditation called as Raja Yoga meditation. Then we have Brahma Kumaris and they have their own meditation technique. Then there is a hugging saint called as Mata Amritandamayi, and she has her meditation. Then we have Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and you have Art of Living and they have their meditation. Then we have Sadhguru and he has Kriya and he has his own meditation techniques. Then we have S.N. Goenka, Ubakin and all that, and that is another meditation technique. And then if we look at it, then there is Nityananda and he has his own meditation technique. And then we have different methodologies of the same Buddha teaching in Zen. It's another meditation technique. Then if you come to Chinese tradition, you have Falun Gong and that is another meditation technique. And then Chinese, there are many more. And also if you look at Zen, that is Japanese, then you have Nirchen Buddhism, they have their own meditation technique. Then if you come to Tibetan, then you have different meditation technique under Tibetan. Then we have Ambedkarites and they have their own, whatever they call that as meditation or whatever it is. Then we have mystic meditations, then we have yoga meditations, then we have Kundalini meditation. So the list goes on. It's a huge one, basically. And every product, whatever we have said, is very good, to be honest. Worth a try. What it basically does is that it calms the mind. That is very good. So none of these meditation techniques are to be hated, are to be rejected, are to be said that it makes no sense. It makes tremendous sense to anyone who has mental problems. Mental problems is not he's a mad person or anything, he's under stress. So for those people who are on the job and on employment and they don't know how to manage their personal and professional life, especially S.N. Goenka's Vipassana really works wonder. I don't think so there is any other meditation technique far superior than Goenka's technique or Ubakin's technique or the Burmese way of technique. And there is Sri Lankan meditation. I've totally forgot about that. They have called as Kamathana or Karmasthana is what they say. Then there is Thailand meditation. So they have their own meditation technique. So now the question comes, okay, all these are meditation technique, and what is oh, I forgot, there's another one, Osho's meditation, and then he made something called as Zobra the Buddha. So that is another meditation technique. And the recent past we have this Pyramid Valley, they have their own meditation technique, and like that there are various centers and smaller ones which are not made into a mainstream market just like the others. There are many more meditation technique, all promising peace and tranquility and realization. And there are people who claim, or the gurus who claim, that by following their tradition you will come to know what you wear, how you wear, and then there are hypnotizing kind of meditation techniques, and then there is basically cleansing. So energy cleansing like pranic healing is another meditation technique. So as much as I speak on this topic, I have so much of meditation techniques. And of all of that, if we take on one side and we take Vipassana, meditation of Ubakin and his guru and S.N. Goenka, who came into India in 50s, and he started at Igatapuri. So it's a fantastic meditation technique, undoubtedly, of all the meditation technique, including on Sadhguru or Ravi Shankar and this and that, and so many famous ones we can today name, but nothing can beat, to be honest, the Vipassana meditation of Goenka. It comes near to what Buddha said, but not what Buddha said. So there's a gap between what Buddha said and what is really out there. So this is the first thing what we need to note. Okay. And how does it really start? What is that Buddha wants as a meditation? And another thing we need to understand before I go deeper into it is that there is a Pali word called as ekagata. And unfortunately, it is translated into Sanskrit called as ekagrata. And obviously, as we know, ekagrata means one-pointedness. So the meditation of Buddha has become one-pointedness. But it is nothing to do with one-pointedness. Buddha never spoke about having a one-pointedness. There is no sutta on jhanas which mentions about one-pointedness. I think he is the only saint who never spoke about one-pointedness or trying to concentrate on something. So it is not a concentration exercise. It's not sitting in one place and you concentrate on the breath or on the body movement or on the sensation or on itching or on heat or on whatever we do. So that you will never find even a single sutta which mentions that you need to be doing something like that. That is not there. So basically what we need to understand in this whole episode is that one needs to really understand what is Buddha teaching of the meditation jhana. So Buddha starts like this, and this is there not as per me, it is there in the Vibhanga portion. So there is in Abhidhamma something called as Vibhanga, meaning analysis. That's the easiest English definition we can find. In that there is a Vibhanga called a Jhana Vibhanga. Okay. In the Jhana Vibhanga, he talks about definitions for each one of them. Let us say the meditation he talks about, always if you look at Samma Samadhi, he talks about 4 stages of Samadhi. He talks about Viviccehi Kamehi, Viviccehi Akusala Dhammehi, and then he starts with Savittaka, Savichara and all that. And he covers that in Mahavidyala Sutta also, and there are a lot of suttas on jhana, where he, like Tapusa Sutta and so many other sutta, even in Samanyaphala Sutta, he talks about this jhana, how to establish jhana. But it would be good that we understand correctly what is each one of these utterances, or what he has said. Let us say Vivicce hi kame, he means what is this? Because then we are totally lost, because that's the primary thing. So when we want to meditate on something, the meditation should be starting with the 10 akusala, because you cannot establish Rupa Jhana and Arupa Jhana, you in the sense this includes me also, if we have 10 immoral deeds. So what Buddha did is he added the Samadhi itself in this 10 precepts. So instead of these 5 precepts which we normally put for a lay follower, for a bhikkhu or even anagarika or anyone who is getting serious about Dhamma and meditation, should work out on the 10 immoral deeds. So what I mean to say is, if we take Panatipata Veramani Sikha Padam Samadhiyami, so now you have the word Samadhi. Now you have to go back and see what is Samma Samadhi. So both are connected. So when we say Samadhi, Sama and Adhi, staying in the same state, not getting changes in the state. So when I say Panatipata Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhiyami, that means I always, can be anything which comes in front of me, which is walking, moving, talking, crying, growling, barking, or whatever sound it makes. Can be a bird, insect, to a mosquito, or to whatever. I will not kill it. The first thing. Now what I should do then? It is biting me. Let's say there is a mosquito and it is biting me. What should I do? Now I need to establish with it the Maitri Bhavana or a Metta Bhavana. So what I need to immediately do is I need to say the Metta Sutta, not the Karani Metta Sutta. Aham avero homi, abhyapajo homi, anigo homi, sukhi attanam pariharami. This is about myself. Then I see that mosquito and then I do the same thing in my own language. So I don't have to use Pali and I can use whatever language, and I say that what are these? First we have to understand what is the meaning of this. Aham means I, avera, vera is enemy, avera is non-enemy, homi, let I be not have any enemies. Abhyapajo homi, so abhyapada is ill will, abhyapaja is without ill will. Anigha, nigha means create hindrances. Anigha is without creating hindrances. Anigo homi, sukhi attanam pariharami. Now sukhi here is, sukha is the third jhana. So if I have this tendency of killing a mosquito, then I cannot attain the third jhana. It's not possible. I can, but it stays for few minutes and that's it. That sukha is gone. Now I want it to be in samadhi. It's sama-adhi all the time. So now what I should do? Don't kill. So when the mosquito comes, I then open up the eyes and I'm watching the mosquito and I start saying in my language, whatever language I am speaking, since I might not be knowing Pali, I say in the language, let there no be any enmity between me and this mosquito. Let the ill will in it and ill will in me go away. And then let there be no obstacle in reaching the third jhana. And if the mosquito is there, it is not going to allow me to enter into the third jhana. So let it establish itself in some other place such that my body is not tormented by this mosquito, because this mosquito does not have any intention of killing me. It has no intention of harming me, but it might cause hindrance to me. So let it not create any hindrance to me. Now I need to watch. Now the mosquito will come and sit on me. I need to watch whether it is going to sit on me. After some time, if this correctly works, the mosquito will not come near me at all. This works. Same thing has to be done with serpents, and same thing has to be done with centipedes, millipede, dog, cat, lizards, cockroach, or whatever that really comes to harm itself, not me. I have brains. I know that they are no match to me. I can take something and kill it. So first thing I need to do is that. So aham avero homi, abhyapajo homi, anigo homi, sukhi attanam pariharami. Now my parents are there, Mama Matapito Achariyacha, that means my teacher. Nyari Mitacha, that means friends and relatives. Sabbrahmachari Nocha, that means all the people who are trying to attain the jhana and who are trying to establish the eightfold path. So I will now say that I look at that mosquito, I look at the people, I look at everyone in all the direction, west, north, east, south, up, down, sideways, this way, all the ways, and then I will then make an utterance. What is the utterance? Dukkha mucchantu, let the dukkha end. It's a long samsara for all of us. Let the dukkha end. Then when I do the dukkha mucchantu, I need to see myself also, because I am in the part of the same dukkha. Yattha ladda. Ladda means the punya or the good deeds. Let the beings enjoy their good deeds in wherever they are, whichever position they are in, whether they are humans or animals or birds or insects or whatever it is. Sampatito mavigaja anto. Kamman sakha. Kamma is the deed, sakha is the friend. Puratimaya disaya, pachimaya disaya, uttaraya disaya, dakkinaya disaya, puratimaya disaya. Like that. If we take all the 8 direction, then the 2 direction, uparemaya disaya, adhomaya disaya, so up and down. Sabbe satta, sabbe pana, sabbe bhuta, sabbe puggala. All of these, that is, let all the pana, means life having beings, can be in any form, including plants, they have life. Sabbe pana. Sabbe bhuta, which are yet to take shape. Sabbe puggala. Puggala means the normal beings. Sabbe satta. Satta means one who feels that I exist, all of them. Let they have abhyapaja and avera and all that. So once I do that, utter this, the ill will in me is not there. So the panatipata is not going to happen. Now I am in samadhi for first one only. Then the second one, adinnadana. Then come to the third one, kameshu michachara. So for the adinnadana, I need to see that if I steal one thing, somebody will going to steal 100 things from me. And the mosquito is going to steal the blood from me, for sure. So I shouldn't allow the mosquito to steal, because I am stealing something from someone and the mosquito is going to steal the blood of me. So if I don't have to really ensure that I have a painful existence and I don't get anything at all, I will do dinnadani rather than adinnadani. That means I will give many things, including Dhamma, to safeguard people. In that way, I don't steal. There's nothing called mine in that. So once that is established, then kameshu vichachara. No sensual, sexual misconduct, even in thought, deeds and words. So these 3 of kaya has to be established before the vivichehi kamehi gets properly understood. Then we have to come to the 4 things of by speech. Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. And then we have to come 3 things by mind, Abhiccha, Vyapada and Michaditti. So when we do these 10 things consistently, then we are ready to understand vivichehi kamehi. That is, what is the meaning of kama? So what Buddha says is that Chanda kamo, raga kamo, chanda rago kamo, sankappo kamo, raga kamo, sankappa rago kamo. So this is what is called as kama. Vivicha means vicha means interested. Vivicha means non-interested. That is secluded. It's a better word in English is seclusion. Moving away. So chanda is the desire. Kama is the pleasure, sensual pleasure. So general sensual pleasure to eye, through ears, through nose, tongue, body and mind. Grasping to it, to enjoy. So he says, Chanda kama, there is an interest. Rago kama, there is a thirst. Its thirst translates itself to tanha, but it is one level below that kind of thirst, but it is still a thirst. To the body, the mind feels really unsettled. Like, I see a mobile phone and I somehow want to buy it, and that is called as raga kama. Chanda raga kama is that adding both of them. There is an intense desire plus this uneasiness till the product is bought. Sankappa kama. Sankappa kama is determination to enjoy. Come what may, I would like to enjoy. Chanda rago kamo. Oh, sorry, that we finished. So raga kamo. That is lustful kama. And sankappa rago kamo is determining that I will somehow enjoy the lust. I would love to have the lust. So these are the kama. So if we compare other meditation techniques with this technique, it is totally different, as we can observe. Even if we take the Goenka technique, he has set the 5 precepts perfect. But then the intention is to go and look at the breath and the sensation on the body. But when we compare with Buddha technique, it's totally different. It doesn't have anything to do with the breath. Now comes to the akusala dhamma. What it means by akusala. Vivichehi kamehi, vivichehi akusala dhammehi. So he says, what is this vivicha akusala dhamma? Kamachanda, vyapada, thinnamida, udacha, kukkucha, visikicha. Ime puchanti akusala dhamma. So these 5 I say as these hindrances are basically akusala dhamma. So I need to remove the kama from one side and these 5 hindrances on the other side before I get into jhana. At least I need to suppress it, if not remove it. I need to suppress at that point in time. Okay. Now, what we covered is also that we need to do the dasa akusala kamma removal. So by establishing the precepts of removing them, then what happens is, as I start working on Panatipata, Veramani and all that, each one of those 10, the Kamachanda, Vyapada, Thinnamida, Udacha, Kukkucha, Visikicha will start coming down. And when it starts coming down, it becomes very easy to establish in the first jhana. So now we come to the thing called as, what is this savittak? And first of all, we need to know what is vitakka. He says, yo takko, vitakko, sankappo, appana, vyapana, chetaso, abhiniropana, samma sankappo. So ultimately it has to end with samma sankappo. So what is samma sankappo? So we have to go to the eightfold path. In that we have to go to the section which covers on samma sankappo. So there are three things in samma sankappo. First sankappa, determination, is nekkhamma sankappo, that is renunciation. Number 2, abhyapada sankappo, not to have ill will on oneself or others. Vihimsa sankappo, avihimsa sankappo, so that means not having any violent thing in eating, sleeping, talking, walking, all that for oneself and for others. So let's say by chance I hate Goenka's Vipassana, or I hate Sadgurus, or I hate Ravi Shankar, or I hate somebody's, and I start saying that that's not the right thing and this is the right thing, and then I have a kind of irritation in the mind, or I have this vyapada in the mind, then I cannot myself establish in the first jhana. It's not possible. So basically I can't hate anything. So there's no hatredness, shouldn't be there. In fact, I appreciate all the meditation techniques. Absolutely fair. They are good. They're indeed very good. Especially Vipassana is extremely good. Comes very closer to what Buddha has put. It's good one. But that doesn't mean that I should hate it or I should blindly like it. That also is wrong. I need to go by what the sutta says, what the scripture says by the Buddha. So if I see in the vitakka, I need to take all the different techniques of meditation, breath meditation, this meditation, that meditation, Zen meditation and all that, and compare that with Buddha meditation. And I need to see what this vitakka means. Takka means to investigate. So it's in English called as initial application. But actually vitakka, takka is to debate. So vitakka means extensively debate. So you have to debate on what is the state of one's mind before sitting for meditation. That person should do a little bit of Kayanupassana, a little bit of Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana and Dhammanupassana, then take few normal breaths to look at how the breath is and establish Pajana and Sampajanya both, and that helps him to get into the vitakka. So savitakka, that is the object to be considered. So now the very simple what Buddha says is that, and there is one sutta on Jhana, he says that don't worry, you apply etan santan, etan panitan, that is sufficient for you. So what I'm going to do is, when I come to vitakka, I'm going to then say etan santan and give a pause. So I will see what is santa for vichara. So now first I need to put this vitakka. So I will slowly make the mind utter this in a perfect way without mistake. So what I would do is, I would say etan santan, etan panitan, Yadidam sabba sankhara samatho sabupadi pati nisaggo tanhakhayo virago nirodho nibbananti. So when I do this, other thought, whatever that might be, let's say I have seen a movie, or I've seen a serial, or I've seen something, or I have spoken to a friend, or I've spoken to my wife, or son, or daughter, or about home, about this, about that, it immediately gets cut. So this is called savittak. With an object which you're bringing, the object you're bringing is etan santan etan panitan. So when you do that, it is called as abhiniropana. Abhi means in excess, or it's more than. It's a better word to use is more than. Niropana means creating. So I have to cut the other ideas, other thoughts which are running. Let's say I listen to an English music and I wanted to sit and meditate. Unnecessarily, this English music will be running in the mind. It is there in the background. So what I need to do is to do an abhiniropana, chetaso abhiniropana. So when I do the abhiniropana, what's going to happen is this will get established. I have no idea on this meaning at present, but I just recite it. Now a question can be asked, isn't it different? Isn't it like saying the same thing like Om or some mantra, or in Tibetan they do that Om Mani Padme Hum chanting? Yes, it looks the same, but it is really not the same, because there is no thing called as Vivichehi Kamehi, Vivichehi Akusala Dhammehi, number one. Number two is that removal of Dasa Akusala is not done. Not that they're not aware. They're also Buddhist. They're aware. But that is not the prime thing. So what they do is they take a bead and they keep on reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum all the time. That's good one. It doesn't allow the mind to go anywhere because that becomes concentrated. But Buddha never spoke about concentration. So there's a difference between Tibetan style and this one. But it is good. Good to have the Tibetan kind of meditation, because that makes tremendous sense that your mind is concentrated. Just like in the Goenka tradition, we are looking at the sensation which is coming from head to feet and feet to head in a square meter, or in a few regions. We start from the head, from the scalp, and then we keep on investigating what is coming and what is coming and what is coming, and then sweat is coming, observe the sweat, and then the pain is coming in that head region, observe the pain, and then keep on scanning and scanning and scanning until you go to the leg. Don't worry about the head now. You are going to look at the leg. After some time, when you come back to the same place, you will not have that pain at all. It has already disappeared, and shows the anicca nature of that. So that anicca nature, they call it as impermanence, which seems to be nice. It's not that, something has a fundamental flaw. But that is not what he is being spoken here, because it requires to have vitakka. And the question comes, what vitakka I need to do? So in some of the Jhana suttas, Buddha has given what should be a vitakka. It is etan santan, etan panitan. Now why can't I take something else? Well, you can take it, but this one works much better. And when we go to the vichara, you will come to know why it is better. The definition is yocharo, vicharo, anuvicharo, upavicharo, chittas anusandhatha, anupekhanata, ayam uchata vicharo. Now, the Pali explanation in English would be, what is a sustained application? It is that which is searching, examining, constantly examining, scrutinizing, constant connection, inspection by chitta, consciousness. This is called a sustained application. So what is in terms of this etan santan, etan panitan? Now what I'm going to do is, I have said etan santan, etan panitan, let's say 3 times, and the other thoughts are cut. Now I'm going to do the vichara. Now he gives 3 steps process. In the Dasuttara Sutta, he says, Savittaka savichara samadhi, avittaka vichara matta samadhi, avittaka avichara samadhi. So what I need to do now is, I have done savittaka, now I have to do savichara. Savichara is that etan santan, etan panitan. Now I have to know the perfect meaning of that. Etan santan, sa anta means one who has ended the self. So sakkaya ditti is removed, and then only the person becomes santa. Now what I need to do is, what is sakkaya ditti? Immediately I need to see the past, present, future, and look at what comes. It is a Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. What I call myself 1 hour ago is a combination of Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. What I am calling now is a Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. What I am going to call as next moment, after 1 hour, after 5 hours, and next tomorrow and all that, is Rupa, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Now the mind drops. When that mind drops, the end result, the result, he says, etan santan, etan panitan. This is profound. The sa kaya ditti. Sa is self. Kaya is the collection, which is roughly translated as body. Ditti means view. That I am this body, that is gone. It's not that I is gone. No, that is asmimana. That only goes at arhat. But what goes now is sakaya ditti. It is not satkaya ditti. It is sakaya ditti. Sa means self. Kaya is the body, or the collection. I am having what collection? So we have seen Kesa, Loma, Nakha, Danta, all that. So that collection, ditti, that this is me, this is mine, this is myself, is not there in the Kaya. So when I practice this, it's become sotapanna. Why? Because now I understood what is Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana not being there. And hence a Sakkaya Ditti is gone. And because Sakkaya Ditti is gone, it is profound. Etan santan, etan panitan. Second line. Yadidam, only when. Sabba Sankhara Samato. So there are 3 Sankharas. Kaya Sankhara, Vachi Sankhara, Mano Sankhara. They are intranquil. Sabbupadi patinisaggo. When everything that is produced, you disconnect, because if you take something which is produced, it's going to get destroyed. So all name and forms have the same property. So sabbupadi patinisaggo. Tanhakkhayo. Craving is reduced. Khaya means reduction. Virago, now I get into viraga, disenchantment. Nirodho, non-arising. Nibbana. So keep on practicing. Vichara. So first one was Savitaka se vicharo samadhi. Second one is Savitaka is gone. Avitaka vichara matta samadhi. Now I am in no vitaka, vichara. So when I start investigating like this, what happens? So he says, this is what is going to happen. Vivekajam. That is, you get viveka. Viveka means discrimination, knowledge to discriminate between the real and unreal. So now he says, what is viveka? That is, he gets into nibbata, abhinibbata, patu nibbata. Nibbata. Nibbi means you are established in a way you can find out what is the truth. Like this, Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankhara is not there as you. As simple as that. Abhinibbata is just like the Abhi we spoke about. The same thing. So you are in that fully existent, fully apparent kind of state. Patu Bhuta. Now you are able to see the Bhuta, how things come forward. Then because of that, you get Piti Sukha. Now in English, this Piti is called as joy, is called as rapture, is called as zest, it's called gladness, it's called elation, delight, everything. And he explains that in Pali also, the same thing. Tata katama piti, ya piti, pamojam, amodana, pamodana, haso, pahaso, vitti, odagyam, atta manata, chittasa, ayam puchati piti. So that means you will feel glad. Now please remember, in any one of this, we are not closing our eyes. You can do it even while walking, while singing, while eating, while changing clothes, while bathing, while doing anything. You can do this. Because this meditation, Buddha's meditation, is in all the postures. So if you look at the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, he not only gives while sitting, he talks about in the 4 postures, Iriyapabbam. And then he comes into Sampajanya Pabbam, where he speaks about in all the postures. Bending, eating, sleeping, changing clothes and all. So you can do this at any point in time. There's nothing like you have to sit, closed eyes and then meditate, sit for 1 hour, think about the 1 hour, and then after that some music comes in and then you are relieved from that 1 hour. It is actually vexation. It has got nothing to do with meditation. And in some places, some people recommend half an hour meditation, close your eyes and meditate. But Buddha's meditation has got nothing to do with closed eyes, even though you can close your eyes and meditate, because that's the best thing you can do. But that doesn't mean that you need to always close your eyes and meditate. And especially when you have Thinnamida, you cannot do this meditation at all, because you need to now take a walk. So while you are walking, you are doing the same thing what you were doing while sitting. Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. These 5 things you are going to be doing all the time. Even taking bath. Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. Even while eating. Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. So the state of the mind is always elated, meaning it is not in any drowsy or in any sickening kind of state. It's perfect. It looks beautiful. So, like that sukha, and you see this explanation of sukha. So he talks about tata khatamam sukham, yam chetasikam satam chetasikam sukham cheta sangasajam satam sukham vedayitum cheto sampassaja sata sukha vedana idam puchyati sukham. Now sukha is treated as pleasure. So let's take English word as pleasure. So first one is mental ease. Second one is mental pleasure. Very easeful, pleasing experience born out of mental contact. And feeling lightness of body and mind is pleasure. This pleasure is accompanied with the gladness. So piti sukha. And then he enters into the first in the serial order, that is the jhana. Now the fun part here is, what is jhana? This is the first time you ever would hear somebody talking about what is jhana. Jhana means vitakko vicharo piti sukha chitte gata. That's what jhana is. Got nothing to do with dhyana in Sanskrit, nothing to do with Zen, nothing to do with Chen, nothing to do with sitting in one place for 10 hours or many hours and sleeping on a cot and meditating and looking at the sensation on the body or this or that, or looking at some other thing, observing a nimitta, like there are people who believe in there is another kind of meditation which was included by Buddha Gosa in the commentaries in the Visuddhimagga. So that kind of meditation is also not Buddha's meditation. I am not able to get that term of what that meditation is. 1 minute, let me think it over. I'm not able to find that name. Kasina. Got it. So there is another thing called as Kasina Meditation. They make it as earth, water, fire, then space, and then all those kind of things, and they draw it and keep on watching it over and do all of those things, which is good. It increases concentration. But Buddha's method is non-concentrating kind of meditation. So when we use the word jhana, jhana means vitakka vichara piti sukha ekagata. That's all. There's nothing else than that. Chitteka gata, ekagata. It's not ekagrata, it is ekagata. Ekagata is oneness. You become one. There is just like you go on a deep sleep where you don't exist. same experience with awareness is ekagata. It's not one-pointedness. You are not pointing to something like a breath or a heartbeat or your body or your posture or whatever it is. You're not doing that. So this difference you need to know between other meditation techniques which are very good, very nice, very friendly, and it helps the mind, but nothing to do with Buddha. Buddha meditation is totally different. It's got there's no similarity. Even a single thing has no similarity. And he talks about attainment, upasampajja. So now this is the fantastic point for verification, the first jhana. So he says, upasampajjati yo patamas jhanas labho patilabho patti sampatti pussana satchikiriyaya upasampada. Okay, what it really means is patamassa jhanasa, due to the first jhana, that is, you have done savitakka savichara, that is, you establish etan santan etan panitan in the mind, and now you have investigated and you are feeling so nice. That nice is labha because it is taking you into nibbana. So first check is whether it is taking you to virag. Is it taking into that sankappa what we did? Samma sankappa has to happen. So whether it is coming to that. So this will come to that. Because we don't have Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankhara Vinyana. We have understood that, and now because of that understanding, there is lightness of the body and lightness of the mind, and because we have lightness of the body and the lightness of the mind, it is having the labha. Pati labha, bonding. Pati is to bond. Labha, you are bonding with profit. Patti sampatti. Sampatti means wealth. So you are gaining and in the wealth. Patti sampatti. Pussana is contacting or touching. Satchikiriyaya, to which? Satchikiriyaya. So in that Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Buddha talks about Ekayano ayam bhikkave maggo sattanam visuddhya soka paridevanan samatikkamaya dukkhaddho manasayam attangamaya nayassa satchikiriyaya nibbana nayassa adhigamaya nibbanassa satchikiriyaya. So here we should be able to see the satchikiriyaya, which is nibbana. If my body is paining, if my body is not good enough, if my mind is compressed due to one-pointedness, then it is not going to reach nibbana at all. So this is the test in the first jhana when we do vitakka vichara. Again repeat, when we do this etan santan etan panitan, you should be able to feel stoppage of everything. If it has happened to you when we did earlier on the etan santan etan panitan, then you are good to go. It's working. Now why you can't achieve the second, third, fourth, fifth like that jhana is because of the dasa akusala. That if you have to reduce, and then the vivichehi kamehi vivichehi akusala dhammehi, in the kama it is the kama and chanda. That if we are able to eliminate of the five senses with the sense object, if you are able to suppress at that point in time through etan santan etan panitan, and then vivichehi akusala dhammehi, five hindrances, we are able to reduce it, then the second jhana is possible. Okay, so this is the difference between the different traditions of meditation. So if somebody were to ask, what kind of meditation do you do? What should be your answer? Or my answer, if somebody asks me, hey Vilas, tell me what kind of meditation do you do? Then I should say, my meditation is on elimination of raga, dvesha, moha. Ragakhayo, dosakhayo, mohakhayo, nibbana. Simple. I don't have to explain anything about, no, you have to sit like that, this one, that one, established, blah, 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 all that. I should say, the meditation technique, what I am doing is to eliminate the raga, dvesha, moha. Raga is sensual lust. Dosa in Pali, dvesha in Sanskrit is hatred, and moha is the delusion. And if somebody asks me, can you tell me what is the process? So I should say, vivichehi kamehi, vivichehi akusala dhammehi, savittaka savichara, piti sukha ekagata. This is jhana. That's all. Nothing else I need to explain. Now if somebody asks me, okay, well, I didn't understand what you're trying to say, then I'm going to say to that person, hey, you know what? I am establishing mindfulness, awareness, remembrance on when does the mind becomes agitated, when does the mind gets attached to a substance or a person or something, an object, and when does it move into delusion. I am practicing that jhana or dhyana or meditation, which will basically remove attachments. It is going to remove the craving. It is going to remove all the immoral activities I have been doing earlier on. That's the jhana, what I'm doing. And if somebody asks me, okay, give me the process, then I can tell him that, why don't you do this? First, work on the 10 immoral deeds which you have been doing. See what works for you. Then come into the removal of hindrances. Work out on that. And then establish the precepts, sila. Then get into samadhi. When you get into samadhi, you get panya. So this is the whole package of meditation. So whatever we have learned so far for the last so many months, if we were to just put it in one single bucket and call it as meditation, this is the meditation. It has to be done on all the postures, in all the time, in all the place. You don't require to necessarily run behind whether should I sit on a sofa, whether to go on cross leg. He talks about cross leg, that is also there, but you really don't have to do it if your legs are paining or whatever it is. It's all about looking at how the raga, dvesha, moha arises. That's the whole thing about Buddha meditation, because raga khayo, dosa khayo, moha khayo, nibbana. This is the first thing. Second thing is, everything in this world is anicca, dukkha, anatta, whereas we have nicca, nicca, sukha, atta, asubha. Instead of asubha, we have subha. So this is what we have, and we don't have knowledge of paticca-samutpada. So if we are able to establish all of this, then the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth jhana can be established easily. Not any difficulty. But the basic aim from sotapanna to arhat, that is, right now you are a sotapanna, means you have understood Buddha Dhamma. That's all what it means. Now our journey starts from here to go into Sakadagami, wherein the possession is ready, is gone. In its place, the Kamachanda Vyapada keeps on reducing. Then in the Anagami stage, the Kamachanda Vyapada don't even come. Then Arhat, where nothing, no fetters are there, including Asmimana. So this is the whole concept There's no concept. So that's the reason Buddha says, my Dhamma is non-conceptual. It is literally practical. Yehi passiko, you come here and see. Open aiko, open for investigation. You come and investigate yourself. Don't go by what tradition says, what some people say. You don't have to do all of that. You just come and see for yourself. So swakhato bhagavata dhammo. The Dhamma is swakhata, it's self-revealing. Sandhittiko, it doesn't have a time wherein this happens, that happens. Sandhittiko, you can see for yourself. Akaliko, there is no time that you have to do it this time and that time and all the time. Yehi passiko, come and see. Opanaiko, pachattam veditabbo vinyuhi iti. This is what the Veda is all about. You get that pure knowledge. But what knowledge do you get? You get to know your past lives. You get to know how beings arise and pass away. You will get to know whether you have completed the journey or not. Apart from this, you get Dibya Chakku, that is divine eye, Dibya Sota, divine ear, Asava Khaya Jnana, that is removal of all asavas, that is fermentation, impurities from the mind, and then you get understanding other people's thoughts. You can watch what they are thinking of every being, right from dog to cat to mosquito to whoever, whatever it is. All beings, you are able to understand the thought of that being, and you can radiate loving kindness, you can radiate compassion, you can radiate equanimity, and you can radiate the mudita, appreciative joy, and create a Brahma Vihara for yourself. So this is what the Buddha Dhamma teaches, and it has got nothing to do with closed eyes meditation and doing this, doing that. Yes, closed eyes meditation is there, and he talks about it when you should do it in the night. So he talks about in the same Vibhanga, Jhana Vibhanga, he talks about Bhojana Matyanukta, that is a person eating what he should be eating and what he mean by Bhojana. So he talks about Pachavekana in Bhojana, and then he talks about what is the meaning of sleeping. It's a very nice thing to understand all of this and get ourselves clarified and not have any confusion about. And the Visikiccha is all about this only, that we have so much of different traditions we have already, and then it gets confusing that which is the one which will work or not work. And that's the reason it is always best, rather than following a person, you follow the sutta. And Buddha said for sure that yo mam pasati, so dhammam pasati, yo patic samutpadam pasati, so dhammam pasati. So whoever would like to see me can see me in Dhamma, and whoever understands paticsamutpada will understand the Dhamma. And there is another saying which says that yo mam pasati, so dhammam pasati, yo dhammam pasati, so mam pasati. So this is going in circle. That means whoever sees the Dhamma sees me, and whoever sees me sees the Dhamma. That means I am always available in the Dhamma. So this Dhamma, when we properly understand through our own reasoning, investigation, you will really enjoy it, because it would be like Buddha talking to you in person, giving guidance on what should be done and what should not be done. So don't go by anyone, including the person who is speaking to you. Go by the sutta, question the teacher, show me the proof where it is written in the sutta. Question. If that person is not able to give the sutta reference, it's fine, but tell him, ask him whether it is really there in the sutta. Let him search, let him find, and let him share. Let him give it to you, that in this sutta, this is what it says. And if anybody is interested, can go to the Vibhanga section, where there are 17 sections, and each one gives complete clarity. What is Satipatthana? What is Indriya Bhavana? What is Bhujanga? everything is perfectly explained, like a parent to a child. Vibhanga is a parent to child relationship. It explains as though a child is asking a question and the parent is answering. And Buddha has done it in such a nice way, or Buddha and his disciples, Sariputta, Moggallana, and so many other people have contributed to it. But whatever it is, it's so nice. Yeah, Suyog.
I just want to ask that you're saying that you are meditating in every posture, like you are sleeping, walking. So you are talking about mindfulness.
Yes, it is sati.
And the other thing that I wanted to know is in which sutta the Buddha talks about equal sutta.
That I had shared initially, but I can again share it.
Girimananda Sutta, Girimananda.
No, not in Girimananda. Girimananda doesn't have, Girimananda Sutta has Etan Santan, Etan Panitan, but the Jhana portion is not there in that.
Not there.
Girimananda has it. Etan Santan, Etan Panitan is there. Out of the 10 sannyas, 2 sannyas he talks about Etan Santan, Etan Panitan. But then that Jhana portion is not there. I'll share it, no issues.
Sir,
Yes.
what is the Anapanasati? That is not the meditation?
No, Anapanasati is not the meditation. There is a sutta which talks about how to do Anapanasati also. There is Anapanasati sutta. And before that, you have to go through the Vibhanga, which talks about how to do Anapanasati.
Okay. So, what is the meaning of that Anapanasati? Is the Samatha Bhavana or what?
No.
And the Etan Sandan, Etan Pating is the Jhana process. And the Samatha Bhavana and Vipassana, what it means in meditation or that?
No, in the Satipatthana Vibhanga, he explains about the 16 things about Anapanasati. Okay, so Vipassana is investigation, Samatha is tranquility. So first you have to have this Vitakka Vichara Piti Sukha. So when you come to Sukha, you are completely tranquil of body and mind. Now you can investigate anything. And when you are in that pure state of mind, like in this Samanya Phala Sutta, what we went through it, you can see that you can direct your attention, your chitta, to the previous lives, and all the lives it will show up. Then if you were to reflect upon the beings going and coming, it will show you all the beings which are going, losing their life, and where they will be reborn, and where are they getting reborn, and all that you can see for yourself. And that is what is the main essence of this Anapanasati and also the Jhana. So we need to investigate it ourselves, Kalpana ji, that we have.
That means only we have to work on our 10 kusala and 10 kusala karmas. Then we are going to attain that particular thing.
Yes.
Right, sir?
Yes. So what Buddha says is that before you do anything, you remove the 10 akusala.
That means that the Samatha Bhavana is also used for the remove the akusala.
Yes, the Samatha and Vipassana both are used for removal of akusala. That's the reason you can apply Panati Pata Veramani Sikha Padam Samadhiyami. So the Samadhi is the Samma Samadhi, what you are establishing in the Noble Eightfold Path, the Samma Samadhi. And then what you are doing is that you are Veramani. That means you are not entertaining. You are not entertaining anything where it says that kill that thing, like a mosquito is flying, and kill that thing. Instead, I will utter, like I said, aham avero homi, abhyapajo homi, anego homi, sukhi attanam pariharami. That I will do consciously.
That the metta bhavana.
Metta bhavana, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then jhana practice for removal of that lobha, vesha and moha.
Yes, correct. So if we start with dasa akusala, immediately your dvesha will go away, actually.
Okay.
Because out of the 5 hindrance, vyapada is the second one, right? So now first to go away is vyapada, because that takes you to animal realm of existence. So immediately the vyapada will go away by applying the metta bhavana.
Okay.
So once we are having metta bhavana completely established, that is maitri, karuna, mudita, upekha, when we have this metta bhavana, either through this metta sutta
that's called the 4 Mahavira Sutta.
Correct.
Vihara.
Yeah, that is the Karani Metta Sutta. Yeah, that is Karani Metta Sutta. So this Metta Sutta and Karani Metta Sutta, if we are able to recite and we are able to stay in that state, no being will harm you. Okay, when no being harms you, you are not harming any being. So then immediately the Vihimsa Bhavana is gone. So with the Vihimsa Bhavana going away, we are not doing 3 things by body. That is, no sexual misconduct and no stealing and no killing. All the 3 are gone. And what remains is the Vachi Sankhara, which is Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. That reduces in its intensity. And then Abhijja, Vyapada and Michaditti. All the 3 also goes away to a very great extent. So now I can establish in the Vitakka Vichara and all that. So it becomes very easy.
Okay.
And again, this is not a meditation to be done closed eyes.
So I think, sorry, again I got a little bit lost for the Pali words. I think when you started explaining the meditation, first you're supposed to, whatever thing is like disturbing you, like a song stuck in the head or something, you're supposed to drop it, correct?
Yes.
And I think you mentioned a phrase or something.
No, it's very simple. I'll just tell you. There is a small thing about Etan, Santan, Etan, Panitan. So that is one, you can call it as a gatha or whatever. So you just have to recite this. Okay, and I also spoke about the meaning of it. So, and in fact, on my channel, there are various videos on Etan, Santan, Etan, Panitan. But this is how it is uttered. Etan, Santan, Etan, Panitan. What it means is that Etan means this is. Santan is Anta. That means when you don't have a self-view. Sakhaya Ditti. Etan Panitan. Panitan means profound. This is profound. This is peaceful. This is profound. You become peaceful only when you don't have your Sakaya Ditti. Yadidam, only when. Sabba Sankhara Samato. You know what is Sankhara. So Samatha means tranquility. So when we say Samatha Bhavana, what you are doing is you are removing the Kaya Sankhara, Vachi Sankhara, Mano Sankhara, you are bringing it 0 value. Okay, that is called as Sankhara Samatho. Sabbupadi Patinisagho. Okay, Sabbupadi means, Upadi means what you have developed. So we call it as asset. Patinisagho means relinquishing of all asset. What asset? Wife, husband, child, home, bank balance, blah blah blah. All that is an asset in our mind, which don't really exist. So when the sankharas are totally in samatha, in tranquility, sabbupadi patinisaggo will happen. When that happens, tanhakhayo, craving will reduce, viraga, the person will get disenchanted. Nirodho, he doesn't arise again. Nibbana. That is not having any bound with anything. You are unbound. That means there is no raga, there is no dvesha, there is no moha. And that is Nibbana. So this you have to mentally repeat it twice, actually 7 times you have to repeat it. And the 5th time, the previous thoughts will become so feeble that it doesn't run. And after 2 other times of recitation, it doesn't even exist. It goes away.
Okay. And I think for the definition of the jhana, you had mentioned some 5 words, the 5th one ending. The last word, ekagata.
Okay, I will tell you. So it is that, see, the thing is like this. Vitakka means initial application. Vichara, in English I am talking about. So vichara means thinking, and in English they put it as sustained application. In some places they put vitakka as thinking and vichara as pondering. So you can take whatever way you want. Piti is joy, feeling elated, feeling glad. That is called piti. Sukha means happiness. Ekagata means oneness. So jhana means vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. That means initial application, sustained application, joy, then you have happiness and oneness. This is called a jhana.
Okay, and okay. Let's say for example, I'm in a jhana right now, and whatever the distraction is reduced. But then like how do you proceed then? Say supposing I said that I'll memorize that etam something, and the mind has come down and the hindrances are gone, and I'm getting these 5 things, but ending in joy and ekagata. But this is also impermanent, right? It will fluctuate, and again something might arise after a few minutes or something.
Yes,
like that.
no. Why it happens is because the hindrances exist. As long as the hindrances exist, you are going up and down, up and down. Once the hindrances goes away, this is also Dhamma only. The nothing in this world is without Dhamma, including Nibbana. Even it is asankata dhatu, it is still a Dhamma. You can't go beyond a Dhamma. This Nibbana is only Sukha because there is no Raga, Dvesha, Moha. That's all. So that doesn't mean that it is something totally different. No, it is not. So it is also part of Dhamma. But you are establishing in the Dhamma, in Nibbana, easily at all the given occasions, because you don't have dasa akusala and you don't have 5 hindrances. So initially, since we all have all kind of hindrances and we have dasa akusala, sometimes we are able to establish and sometimes we are not able to establish.
Okay, so since if we establish, so does it like just automatically go from first, second, third, or do you have to like keep saying that etam, that phrase? That is my question. Like, supposing I'm in the first jhana.
No, I don't think so. You heard it properly. It is vitakka. So you start with that and it drops. Then you are only doing vichara. What is the meaning of it? And then after that drops away. Then you are in piti, that is the second jhana. Then you are in sukha, that's the third jhana. Then you are in ekagata, that's the fourth jhana.
Okay. I got it. I got your point. Okay. And just last question again, similar to what this other girl had asked. But in Anapana Sati Sutta, didn't the Buddha say that being established in Anapana is doing the Satipatthana, is another way of doing the Satipatthana, or of maintaining the 4 foundations of mindfulness?
No, if you read the Anapana Sati has 16 steps. In the Satipatthana, it doesn't have 16 steps. It has something different. The initial starts with that, and then he goes into Ajjatta, Bahidda and Kaya only he takes But here you have Pasiddhi, and it goes to Anicca and all that. Then it goes into Vimukti. So actually using Anapanasati itself, you can go and establish all that is in the jhana. Okay, so you have to read the Anapanasati Sutta. There are 16 steps. And you can come back and look at Mahasatipatthana Sutta. You don't have the 16 steps in that.
Okay.
And Mahasatipatthana Sutta Kayanupassana, he gives various steps, various what I can say, tools for doing it. One is he talks it as an Anapana in the beginning, and then he moves into Iriyapabbam, which is different. Then he comes into Sampajana Pabbam, that is different. Then he comes into the Asubha Bhavana, that is different. Then he comes to the Dhatu, Pathavi, Apo, Vayu, Tejo. Then he comes into the charnel meditation, that is you go to a cemetery and meditate. There are 9 of them. Okay, so it's not the same.
Yeah, correct. It isn't the same, but then correct. Obviously, it isn't the same, but then I don't know. Maybe I misread something. Somewhere he said that just observing the breath is another way of maintaining doing the 4 Satipatthanas. For example, if you observe the breath, you automatically become aware of Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, and Dhamma.
No,
something like that. I could have misread it.
Yeah, you show me the which sutta it talks about. There is no sutta which talks about that at all. He says, so sato va assa sati, so sato va passa sati, dhigam va assa santo, dhigam assa sameti pajanati. So you observe like a third person your own breath. Dhigam va passa santo, passa sameti pajanati. And what is the pajanati? First we have to be aware. It's part of panya. So then you have to develop bhavitabba. That means you have to develop it. This is something what has to be developed. So what is the development is that you should be able to see the arising and passing away. That is called pajana. So when we look at the breath, you are able to see the starting point and the ending point of the breath. And then he says, Sabbakaya pati samvedi asassisameti sikkati. Sabbakaya pati samvedi passassisameti sikkati. That means he will learn to observe that how the pati samvedi is happening. That means the sensation, that means in this case the vibrations which happen in the body, you are observing it. You're just observing it. It never was there. Now it is happening in your in-breath and out-breath. Passam bhayankaya sankharam asasissameti sikkati. Passam bhayankaya sankharam passasissameti sikkati. He now knows how to calm down the body. When we say calming down the body, the asapassa itself is gone. What it means is that your normal breath becomes so subtle. Rasa, meaning very, it's heavy is long and heavy would be the dhiga. Rasa is very soft and very subtle. So you have a breath which is so subtle. Now you are ready for the meditation. Now when we look at the Satipatthana Vibhanga, what we did the other day, he talks about observing the 32 parts of the body. You got the point? So
yeah, I get it. I must have.
No, that's okay.
I must have misread something.
No,
yeah, I get it. Even it made no sense to some degree because the suttas are quite different. Or I don't know, maybe some bhikkhu said it or something, saying that if you just observe the breath, then you're automatically doing the Satipatthana. I don't know. I'll go through the Anapana Sati Sutta and then.
Yes. You can go through it. There are 16 steps in that, and maybe if we meet tomorrow, I can take up that Anapanasati so that it becomes easy for everyone to understand what is Anapanasati in the first place.
Okay, wait. One last small question. Like you mentioned, like the four. I mean, these four stages as you go from first, second, and third and fourth jhana, correct? So, I mean, it can happen very fast, right? I mean, it's not like first you're in the first jhana and then after 5 minutes you go to the second. It can happen almost immediately, correct?
It depends on person to person and hindrance to hindrance. So we really cannot say that if some hindrance comes from second jhana, the person will come down to first jhana. He is not able to concentrate. Again, a wrong word used, concentrate, is nothing to do with concentration. So you will not be able to go beyond what you have done. So then you have to remove Kamachanda, Vyapada, Thinnamida, Udacha, Kukucha and Visikicha. Majorly, I will tell you, Valerio, the major hindrance is Visikicha. We have still not established in Buddha Dhamma in a proper way. Okay. Once it happens, you will not have any problems at all. 90% you are done. Now we keep on circling that, oh, whether this is that, no, that bhikkhu said this, or that Bhante said this person said this, I read this, that video said that, and all of that we keep on doing it. So we do the shopping, and all that gets entangled in our mind. Okay, so the best thing for all of us is to refer to the sutta. Don't go by anyone. We should not be lethargic in investigating the sutta, because that's the only way we can save ourselves from this long samsara. Because yo mam pasati, so dhammam pasati. So the dhamma has to be seen by oneself through one's own effort. So the Bhante and bhikkhus and all those people are good. They are giving their views. Fine, appreciable. But one has to investigate oneself. One has to spend time for oneself, basically. Then the hindrances goes away. Especially Visikicha is such an hindrance that it will have a doubt on the teaching. For once, it will have doubt on the Sangha, whether I am in the right group or wrong group, whether should I join to that group or this group and all that. And then we have a doubt on the teacher, not the Buddha as a teacher, but whoever is teaching. He is teaching the Buddha teaching. So now I get a doubt on that, and that again becomes a hindrance. So what I need to do is refer the sutta straight and follow the teacher who is going by the sutta. As simple. Don't go by his interpretation. No interpretation required. What is required is clarity. So if you have that, you have removed maximum of the problem which is caused by the Visikicha, which is skeptical doubt. And then the removal of other things are very easy. Actually, it doesn't take much time. So this one is a bigger. And another bigger one is the Kamachanda. That sensual lust. Once you have faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, then the Kamachanda reduces dramatically. And with that, the Vyapada goes away, and then your energy will increase. So Thinnamida goes away. Then the Kukucha and Udacha goes away. Kukucha is first thing which goes away. Now you don't have this guilty consciousness. Oh, I should have done this, done that and all that. That goes away. Only thing which remains is Udacha, restlessness, and that goes at Arhat stage. So you have to bear with restlessness to a great, not to a great degree, at a subtle degree, and the remaining thing would have gone. Then your speed tremendously increases. But initially we have to put our effort. We have to put our effort on sutta. See, if I take my own personal thing, Valerio, I have done that. I am doing that. I have done that. I am doing it all the time. As though there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, it is more than 10 p.m. Shall we end? And we can continue tomorrow. No issue. Okay, Namo Buddhaya, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow tomorrow.
Namo Buddhaya, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Tomorrow,
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Tomorrow let us meet at 7 p.m. so that 7 to 8 we can finish.
Namo Buddhaya.
Okay, thank you. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.